due to a number of partners who have supported us over the years and who've helped us really grow. In particular, I want to give a shout out to the good folks at Jumpstart, as well as the Bounce Innovation Hub in Akron, in particular, Jessica Sublette, their CEO. They've been tremendously good partners to NEOMED in growing our innovation space. Lastly, NEOMED itself has a fantastic team, and I just want to point out Jordan Walker, without whom nothing would ever get done or ever happen at NEOMED. She's a pillar of strength, knowledge, and hard work. I also want to say you're going to hear from two of NEOMED's innovation superstars today, Dr. Fayez Safadi and Dr. Vahagan Ohanyan, both of whom are incredible inventors, innovators, and entrepreneurs. And NEOMED is so lucky to count them among our faculty. So with that, over to you, Jordan.
Thank you so much, Dr. German. That was really kind of you. My name is Jordan. I am the program manager for the Ready Zone here at NEOMED. And as Dr. German mentioned, we are a business incubator, and we are supporting regional life science entrepreneurs and early stage biomedical companies with resources available through NEOMED and Northeast Ohio Startup Network. We facilitate partnerships among the university research enterprise, regional economic development organizations, and the private sector to catalyze the development of biotechnology, stimulate regional economic prosperity, and improve health worldwide. We have office and lab space available for use for startup companies with shared conference room space and shared wet lab space as well. We provide flexible space arrangements from single cubicle space for researchers to multiple offices and research wet laboratories to support companies' expansion needs. We also have resources through NEOMED that are available to our companies and clients if they need that through institutional biosafety committees, review boards, and different entrepreneurial support as well through the ESP network. And I would love to pass it over now to Dr. Safadi, who will speak on his companies and innovation as well.
Right. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Jeff, and the organizers. Really appreciate the invite to tell you a little bit. I don't know if you see my screen. Just let me know if you see it.
Yes, everything's good.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Again, as mentioned, I thank you guys for the invite. I'd like to share with you. So I'm a basic translational researcher, trained in Europe, did my further training in Philadelphia, started my career path at Temple, and moved to NEOMED, over 12 years ago. And I have to say, as a researcher, it's always, in me, I'm very much interested to see what we do in the lab. Can we take it to the next level? And I have to say, working in a big city in Philadelphia, you would think, you know, there's a lot of innovation, a lot of businesses and so forth. But there was no such a solid program to take what invention comes in the lab to take it to the next level. And there you go, moved to Ohio, and I heard a lot about innovation entrepreneurship. And I have to say, I learned tremendous amount of knowledge and experiences from people, former people at the institution and current people at NEOMED. It's absolutely a huge resourceful for faculty who really want to take their invention to the next level. So I put here a couple of talking points. I'd like to share with you what we've been doing quite a while ago and where we got us to our startup company called GPN Therapeutics. And the rest of my discussion will be tell you what we have at NEOMED when it comes to medical innovation entrepreneurship programs. We have a couple of programs here, and I'll talk about them a little bit in details. And Jeff, feel free to shut me up if I am exceeding my time here. All right. So GPN therapeutic technology started it when I was a junior faculty at Temple University in Philadelphia. And it's very ironic, while I was at Temple, we started collaborating with people here at NEOMED. I didn't know that I'm going to end up at NEOMED as a career, my next career path. And we developed a technology about bone regeneration. So our technology is a new protein therapy for rapid and safe bone regeneration. So what to do that, of course, we're tackling major problem in healthcare. So we're focusing mainly in spinal fusion. So, I mean, I work with a lot of orthopedic surgeon. My research focus on musculoskeletal diseases, inflammation, and the last few years, we developed an interest in rare diseases with a skeletal abnormality. Here, I'm telling you, one of the healthcare problem, which is spinal fusion. There are over 1 million procedures are taking place in the United States. And the current therapeutic aspect, if you like, is the grafting and orthobiologic to basically increase bone regeneration. There is a huge product in the market approved by FDA, and it's called Infuse by pharmaceutical industry. Unfortunately, it works to the point that generates so much bone and creates a lot of inflammation. So if you look at the X-ray here, this is a spinal fusion procedure here between the vertebra. Very high number, over 60 to 80% people over 50, they get lower back ache. I'm one of them. I hope I don't end up in a fusion, but here we go. So basically, that's a procedure taking place, and surgeon go in and put either metal cages and a growth factor or stem cells to try to correct the problem. And when we do it in a preclinical animal model, when we put this a product that's already in the market, generate a huge amount of bone, which is uncontrollable. So you cannot really control it. So this is a perfect fusion, which not use this product, but when you use this product, you create a tremendous amount of bone. The bone can grow in the muscles, creates a lot of inflammation, which is not really well controlled and does not have a good impact on patients. So now there is a huge need for orthobiologic, what we call it. The market seeks basically a product that is very effective, safe, and definitely looking for a lower cost. So what we did, we've done a lot of work at Temple and in NEOMED, and we're lucky to get a fair amount of funding in the preclinical animal model. Here I'm just showing you an example in the large preclinical model, which is in the sheep, and which is, the next step will be one step close to human clinical trial. I don't know if you see this well. That's the femur, and this is an X-ray, and there is a dark hole here. We dug a big defect into the bone of the sheep, and in here we packed that defect with a carrier and our orthobiologic. Within 4 weeks, we packed that defect with a new bone. So we got extremely excited that there's something probably there to help people to generate bone. Granted, this is not a fusion, but that's what we start with to see basically if there is an effective way to accelerate bone healing. So we want to see how we want to take this to the next level. So my group done tremendous amount of entrepreneurship program. We did multiple I-Corps. I can't tell you how many. We've done probably almost 20 different I-Corps program for different indication. Hundreds of customer discoveries, talked to experts in the field, presented at different meetings, and we realized what we want to use basically, if we want to envision our product, we'll be using a predicate device. So what people do, take this metal device, they put it between the two vertebrae, and inside it will be a carrier, and they soak it with their protein of interest. And that will be pretty much our final product, and we will basically load our protein in the area, and ultimately, when the fusion is going to take place, they remove the intervertebral discs, and the fusion works pretty well. So we did that. And here you go again. I'm showing you the product that's already approved by FDA, and here I'm showing you the product that generated in our group. You have a perfect fusion, just right the amount you needed to stimulate the fusion process. This is a preclinical model as well in animal. And very important things, we notice our product, if anything, it inhibits inflammation. So we're finding another indication of our product that's not only regenerate bone, but stimulate basically the process of stem cells and reduce the inflammatory response. So there's a lot of indications start developing from using this technology, different inflammatory diseases. So one of the things we did, competitive advantage, we compare our product, what's out there in the market. That's a Medtronic product. That's the one I've just showed you. Yes, it's approved by FDA in certain indication, but unfortunately very costly and generates so much bone uncontrollable. Stryker product came out in the market and unfortunately was removed due to lack of efficacy. So here you go, we have our product, we know it works well, we know pretty much have no side effect, we looked at it carefully, very easy to use, the cost analysis came far much cheaper than others, not yet FDA approved. And ultimate goal, basically, those products, when being used, patients stay in the hospital longer period of time due to the inflammation, and we know our product has anti-inflammatory properties. So we've been lucky at NEOMED with a wonderful group when it comes to the tech transfer. We have a few patents already issued, 3 pending. And we, when it comes to non-dilutive funding, that's including all the basic, that number reflects all the basic science from the inception of the idea to where we are right now. So we were able to attract SBIR phase 1 for 2 different indications, osteoarthritis, spinal fusion as well. And here I'm just basically have a tremendous amount of help and funding and awards was given to us basically by multiple agencies to where we are. So now we are in the step, we're looking for funding, investor to take the technology to the next step where we hopefully gonna start first in human trial and get it FDA approved. I'd like to switch gear here and tell you what a couple of programs are pretty effective here at NEOMED. So we developed a program 4 years ago. We called it Neovation Bench to Bedside, Neovation for Northeast Ohio. And this is a medical innovation entrepreneurship program. Dr. German mentioned earlier about our president, who's a big entrepreneur and big medical innovator, who basically created that similar program back in University of Utah, and he called it Bench to Bedside. So he came in here, and we felt, you know, there's a great need to educate and get involved a student into this medical innovation entrepreneurship for multiple reasons. Could be a basic science student, could be medical student, any student of interest, a business student, law student, engineering, and so forth. So this is a student-led program. I created the program with the help with multiple people, the president, and I have an outstanding team working with me. So this is the 5th year we're running the program. Those are the student leadership. Happen to happen this year, most of them pretty much a medical student, have either a business background before you get into med school, biomedical engineering, and basically some of them done a master program in medical innovation or global health innovation. And those 2 people did the masters at NEOMED as well. So the way we create that program, we put together a team, and the team, as I mentioned, could be any type of student, pharmacy, science, a medical student, dentist, nursing, physical therapist, you name it. As well as we add other expertise to the team, which could be a law student to give the patentability background, business student, and engineering student if the technology innovative idea require a design aspect. So the team, and we connect these teams with physician healthcare providers. They look at identify unmet needs. They develop the product, could be a device, could be a therapeutic, could be apps. We give each team $500, strictly used for the technology development, and they do the design, they execute it, and they develop a business plan. They apply for a patent if they think their idea can be patentable with the tech transfer office here at NEOMED. And they come to competition, and they compete against the rest of the team over the years. We've been developing and a new team. So we have a huge partners working with us. Different institutions are listed here. So we work with engineers, business, law, as I mentioned, and other colleges within Northeast Ohio. Keep in mind, NEOMED is a healthcare institution, so we don't have a law school, we don't have engineering, nor business. So we work with a lot of colleges to build and help this program. So the program, like give you an example of 2024, we had 24 teams competed, and those the awardees, we give $10,000 for first place, $5,000, $3,000, and what we call a People's Choice Award as well. So the dollar given to the team strictly to develop the technology forward. Either basically you want to submit a patent, they want to have a different design, and those teams are eligible to come back again the following year and compete again to show people how much generation, how much advancement they did to their technology. And as I mentioned, this is the 5th year. We've done so far over 56 teams in the last 4 years. We had 5 patents being submitted and 4 startup companies being created. And again, keep in mind, those pretty much majority student-led inventions with mentors, of course, to help them moving technology forward. So we're very excited to attract people, not only Northeast Ohio at the large within the state of Ohio, and actually we have even students join us from different institutions as well outside the state of Ohio. I want to share with you, we have a design lab. We call it Medical Device Innovation Center on MEDIX on campus. That's pretty much funded by Foundation, Timken Foundation, as well as NEOMED Foundation, led by Dr. James Kazenheimer, which basically teams have the opportunity to do 3D printing facilities, design labs, and James is a great engineer. So it's basically rare to see an engineer's faculty in a medical school setting. So we are lucky to have him, and he built that wonderful facility for team within NEOMED and outside NEOMED to be able to use the facility here. And another things we're developing, again, all student-led, we're pushing those students to think outside the box, could be medical student or PhD student. So we have a new initiative, we are working on it, hopefully will be launched soon. It's called Innovation Cafe. And that's led by actually a second-year medical student, and Justin, and the Innovation Cafe, which is the plan to foster creativity and advances medical field, providing collaborative space for a student and expert in the field. So we're trying to do these monthly, where people invited to that in person, preferably. We could have hybrid when people get coffee and cookies, but basically a very safe space to open their ideas, share their knowledge, they lacking for different expertise, and basically all come from student as well as could be healthcare providers, innovators, and so forth. So we hope to have the first event coming in the next couple of months, and will be announced on that as well. So we are very excited. Again, another initiative here created at NEOMED. Another adding things when it comes to innovation, maybe in a different way we're looking at it, we developed what we call a Journal of Medical Sciences at NEOMED, we call it JMS at NEOMED, again, student-led. We have a faculty, and I helped creating the journal with one of the MD PhD student, Trinity Crank. Now she hands over the leadership to an M3 student. And this is, again, student-led when it comes to editorial board. We accept papers, not only from NEOMED, from any other institution, works basically in publishing and healthcare related technology, basic science, review article, case study, you name it. Again, we've now working on the 3rd volume of the journal. And so far, I just learned yesterday, we have over around 20 papers on the current 3rd volume about the journal, and we're working opening the acceptance for publication. So again, open not only to student, any healthcare provider within the state or even outside. So again, we get the innovative ideas from student, and we they have eligible way to put it in this medical journal. There is an innovation day. I'm sure probably you heard about it. It's within Northeast Ohio. It's last year was taking place at Kent State. Again, it showcase innovation, collaboration, and commercialization by student and faculty. And this year, 2024, is going to be carried out at Youngstown University. Again, another way, basically, yes, it says basically Northeast, but also open for people from outside to tap into the opportunity to collaborate and network within the Innovation Day. It's happening in the fall. Now, what we do here at NEOMED also, all this innovation, it doesn't take place in one spot. We have an incredible collaboration, academic and healthcare institution are listed here. We are very lucky. We're expanding this network, and that's what we want to take these to a wide state in Ohio as well as beyond to increase our network. Our program, Innovation Best to Bedside, has already been now replicated in few states. As I mentioned, created University of Utah, NEOMED, National University of Singapore, University of Hawaii, and Wake Forest now developing similar program. So it's expanded at even a state on an international level. So we are very excited to take these to any collaborative interest people, even on the call here, to see if we can get this individual part of that program, and when we can train young people to take things to the next level. With that, I'm going to stop here and have any questions.
Excellent job. Thank you, Dr. Safadi. Let me just remind the panelists, if you want to introduce yourself to everyone with your email address in the chat, I think that would be great. So people can follow along, just make sure that it says to everyone. And apologies again for the camera thing. It turns out that Zoom has a new setting where camera for panelists can be on or off, and somehow it's set to off, and it can't be changed at this time. So if there's no questions, let's move on, and we'll definitely have time at the end. I'd like to invite Dr. Ohanian to deliver his presentation. Thank you.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for organizing. And first of all, thank you for organizers giving us opportunity to present our companies in this event. And thank you, Dr. German and Jordan, for introduction and for your support. So today I will talk a little bit about one of my companies. I have 5 companies, but this one I thought will be interesting to let Ohio companies, scientists, academic researchers to know about the contract research organization, which I am president and founder. And I'm also a faculty member at Northeast Ohio Medical University, which gives opportunity to also do business with faculty appointments. So the company called Ohio Cardiovascular Innovation, which is located in Ready Zone area. First, I want to give you a little bit of understanding what contract research organization is. So contract research organization is a company that provides support to pharmaceutical, biotech, medical, and research device industries in the form of research services outsourced at contract basis. And there are different services like contract research organization can offer, such as biopharmaceutical development, biological assay, commercialization, preclinical, clinical research, clinical trial management. My company is doing only preclinical research, which requires for the drug or device approval first stage in order to commercialize or to get FDA approval. So why do research in contract research organization, not using like the personal sources? There are multiple reasons, but I try to highlight 3 main big reasons why do the project in CROs. So the CRO designed it to reduce the cost for companies developing a new medicine and drug in the niche market. I will bring up just one example. As you know, like small animal ultrasound machine is like almost $500,000. But you don't want to invest like $500,000 to buy just one equipment and do cardiovascular functional measurements and for your drug testing. For this reason, you can contract, any CROs who already have this machine, who invested this money to purchase the equipment. They can do very cheap price and give you all the results. The other one is to simplify the entry into drug market and simplify the development, as the need for large pharmaceutical companies to do everything in-house is now redundant. And in this scenario, I will bring up one example. You don't need to write all the protocols. You don't need to, have all the problem with the IACUC committee, animal safety. So we take care of everything. We have in-house, we have pre-approved protocols, everything. So once the companies or like a scientist come and approach us, we do everything for them and in quick and short period of time, and we start the project. But here I want to bring up the main and the biggest problem for the other researchers and the companies which, deal with the problem, like reproducibility. As you know, having good scientists, good surgeons, good technicians, it's always challenging. But in my company, I have like people whom I train it, I qualify them, and I said, now you are good to do reproducible surgery. So what this means, let's say you want to do myocardial infarction model, and you don't want all your animals to have different size of infarction, and then now think, what animal should I include? What animal should I exclude? But my group can produce all the time same degree like damage, and then include majority of the animal in the study group, and then show the drug effect, if drug works, doesn't work, or have beneficial or toxic effect. That's big challenge for everyone, like reproducibility, to have a good scientist, good team to do like reproducible research models. So types of CROs for the preclinical, there are different types, small animal, large animal, primates. My company mostly is doing small animal. We are focusing on mice and rats. But previous year, I had like a project on pigs also. Some companies approached me, so I'm open to work with the client and see their needs. If we can perform, we will do. If not, we will at least direct them and help them whom to apply and whom to ask. My company has 8 scientific board members. So we consult, we talk, we decide what to do. And then we have 4 people who perform the procedures. So on cardiovascular innovation, this company I opened with Dr. Chilian, who is a big scientist in cardiovascular field and has more than 45 years experience. And I initiated the idea to open the company and to perform this service with our, academic responsibilities. So in my company, we developed 2 small animal devices, which helps for procedures reproducibility, also to increase the survival rate, and also to have successful surgeries. One of the devices, mouse intubation laryngoscope. This device took almost 4 years to develop, and we have now a patent, it's commercialized, and now it's on sale. But the idea for this device came from the microsurgery workshop, which I was directing almost 6 years. And I had more than 100 participants, and majority of the participants, they had challenge intubating mice. And I said, I need to design some device which can be one person operating unit and have everything like together, so one person can intubate mice 100% accurate and in less than 1 minute. So I designed it, this one, which has a magnification loop, which has a fiber light source, which we connect to this three-way connector, which is closed air loop. And here we have the inflation bulb. When we intubate the mouse, we check if the position is correct. This device is mimicking human intubation device. So as a ex-cardiologist, I'm not practicing currently, but I used to practice in Armenia cardiology. So we use this intubation system similarly for human intubation. I said, now I need to make smaller scale so one person can intubate and successfully. And after inventing this device, now we can intubate mice 100% successful and in less than 1 minute. And many labs even now, they suffer intubating mice, they do tracheostomy, but people who knows about this device who purchased, and many in Ohio and out of state, now they buy this device and they are very happy and always, come back and ask me question about this device. If you want to purchase or find more information, it's the Best Medical and Research Supplies, which licensed and which is selling the OHAN intubation devices. The other one is the vascular hook, small vascular hook, which we invented in my company. And this vascular hook helps to position suture around small vessels. When I say small vessels, like around 0.5 to 1 millimeter in diameter. But this device mostly we use for transaortic constriction. And I'm sure many of the scientists, they know this surgery to do like aortic constriction for heart failure model. And by using this vascular hook, so we can do like this surgery from the beginning to end in less than 15 minutes. It helps to position, to place, and then constrict the aorta. And also this tool is available in the Best Medical and Research Supply for sale. Both devices are patented and my company owns the devices, but thanks to NEOMED Ready Zone, who gives us opportunity to faculties and all the, inventors to rent, to come and to use the Ready Zone area and then do research and invention. So where my company is located, as we know, it's in Ohio, and this is the map of the Ohio. I will not go more details, but where is in Ohio? It's located in the heart of the Ohio, in Rootstown, because it says Root and the town. That's my joke I always make, because many people, they don't know where is the Rootstown, but now they know. And in Rootstown, there is a Northeast Ohio Medical University where we have the Ready Zone, Research, Entrepreneurship, and Discovery Innovation Zone, which provides us big lab facility and big space, more than 10,000 square feet, where we can do any type of surgical monitoring, imaging, like sterilization spaces and lab spaces, and like imaging core facility, analytic core facility. So I am very happy I have this opportunity and we can run our business. I also utilize the animal facility, which NEOMED has, and it's ALEC accredited, internationally accredited. And animal facility can have different species, like house different species, mice, rats, rabbit, squirrel, dogs, pig, monkeys. If any of you interested any kind of research to do in this animal model, the Ready Zone and also the CMU, Comparative Medical Unit, can handle all your needs. So why also do projects in contract research organization? As Jordan mentioned it, we can utilize the Ready Zone core facilities or NEOMED core facilities with very small fee by paying like between $10 to $150 per hour and utilize their equipment. We don't need to invest millions of dollars buying like all these equipments. And we can also use the imaging core facility, like electron microscopy, micro CT, ultrasound imaging, 2-photon microscopy. Everything is available for me and for other companies who will come and join the Ready Zone area. So, and then there are different like rate of the fee, depends how many hours you use, how frequent you use. They're ranging from $10 to $150 per hour. So how do we operate? As we know, in for the best operation, you have to have a good law firm. And every step I do, I talk to customer, I talk to researchers or pharmaceutical device companies, my law firm, and I'm working with Squires, Pat and Pug, and they advise, they sign the contracts, they, check all the protocols or, work orders, everything. And then we do the business. How the business model works. So when customer comes and talks to us, we have a meeting, scientific meeting, inviting all or some of my board members, depends what kind of research they need. Can be imaging, can be stroke model, can be heart failure model, or microsurgery, whatever. So I talk to my scientific team, and then we come to research design and the animal model, which will be the best for your need, for drug testing, device testing, or any other experiment. And then once we decide what kind of animal model, what kind of research design we need, and then we approve the protocol, and then after everything, sign up with me and legal teams, and we start to completing the research project. Can be surgery, can be drug induced, can be food induced or genetically modified. We do everything. And then once we finish the research project, we usually meet weekly or bi-weekly to keep updated the client, how is going, what is going. If any data is available, we share earlier before the data report, and then we analyze and we report. We actually do from A to Z. Let's say we want to test antihypertensive drug. We will develop the hypertension model, we'll test your drug, we'll show if the drug has positive effect, negative effect, or no effect, and then make the figures with or without a statistical analysis. Many companies, they want to do their statistical analysis. And then we report to customers and having the meeting and reporting there the data. And one of the biggest positive sign for doing project in contract research organization is intellectual property rights. As we know, and many times, like when people first approach to me, they think, I'm at NEOMED and NEOMED will have intellectual property rights. But no, this is through my company, through Ready Zone, and NEOMED does not have any intellectual rights. 100% the IP right goes to client. This is service for fee. So you pay me and then I do the service. The only benefit NEOMED gets, having all these clients, animal facility, having these companies, and also I help all the Ready Zone companies, also NEOMED faculties, if they approach me to do any research projects. Last 5, 6 years, I had many end companies and scientists from Ohio, like Ohio State University. I had 3 labs. They hired me to do their surgical models, University Toledo, and went out of the state. And even we had a project from South Korea testing like antihypertensive drug. They wanted to go into the US market. So what kind of briefly like research cardiovascular disease models we are using? Like surgically induced, drug induced, can be chemotherapy, can be DOCA salt for the hypertension, lifestyle changes like putting animals in the restraint, food induced like can be high fat, high sugar, or combination of high fat, and genetically modified mice and rats. So these are some of the research models we do, but we are doing more than 30 different like surgical models. Like these are the main one for the cardiovascular heart failure models. Like very common is the LAD ligation, ischemia reperfusion, transaortic constriction, like mimicking aortic stenosis. We also do cerebral occlusion for the stroke model, renal artery occlusion, femoral artery occlusion for high limb ischemia, carotid, femoral, and abdominal artery endothelial denudation if we want to accelerate the atherosclerosis development. So the other services we also provide are hemodynamic measurements. We can like do telemetry and invasive. We are equipped with both equipment, both methods, like telemetry, blood pressure measurement, ECG monitoring, activity, body temperature. We also have the ultrasound imaging by using the Visual Sonics small animal ultrasound system. We have 3 of them, not only one, because time comes, we have many projects and one ultrasound machine is not enough. And then we can also do stress test, exercise test, swimming test. And we also do treatment of animals by administering the drug different ways. Let's say if you want by oral gouage, IP, IV, intramuscular, whatever route, like once we discuss, we administer all routes. And then end of the study, we collect tissues, and then we either can be fresh tissue, can be PFA perfused, can be any models like based on your protocol, and then we ship all these samples to your facility. And we were collaborating one company in Redizon to do the pathology studies, but now they stop doing the pathology services. But we have other companies with whom I'm working, and I can help with pathology services. And with that, I would like to thank everyone, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Like all the time, my crazy kids are asking me. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ohanian. Amazing, absolutely amazing work that's going on. Let me pass the baton now to Eddie Pauline, who's President and CEO of Ohio Life Sciences. We'll give him an opportunity to kind of wrap up, and of course, invite folks, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Some really interesting so far. Let me see if I can. Okay, let me share. Share my screen.
It's loaded. Yep, you're all set.
Okay, great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Eddie Pauline, President and CEO of Ohio Life Sciences. We are the trade association for the biotech industry here in the state. Our mission is to do what we can to drive as much alignment to the ecosystem that we have here across Ohio, continuing to work hard to build partnerships with all of the life science companies within the state. Ensure that our elected officials are aware of the opportunity that the life sciences industry is creating in Ohio from an economic standpoint, and more importantly, from a life-saving technology standpoint, in order for us to really emerge as a key destination for even more companies and innovation to come to. Our vision as a trade association is that Ohio will be recognized as one of the most robust and innovative life sciences ecosystems in the country. And I think we're well on our way. we as a trade association are very focused on making sure that companies like the two that you just heard about have the right talent, funding, and in space to grow here in Ohio and be successful. We've got too many examples of great technology coming out of our research institutions that ends up being developed in other states. So we want to make sure to try to keep as much of that IP here as possible. But in order to do that, we need those companies to be able to find, again, the right talent to run their companies, the right funding opportunities in order for them to grow, and of course, literal space, wet lab space, et cetera. So those are some of the key priorities that we have. That said, Ohio's got a really strong life science industry. Currently, we have about 4,300 different life science establishments across the state. The industry employs a little over 80,000 people and delivers a pretty competitive wage to those workers, an average wage of about $98,000, well above the median in Ohio. A lot of investment has gone into the industry, $1.6 billion in new facilities and expansion since 2020. And it attracts some big dollars. Companies are bringing in a combination of incentive dollars and venture dollars to the state as well. So there you see some of our key brands that are members of Ohio Life Sciences. They are working with us in a variety of different ways, investing in the association, making sure that we can do the work that we need to elevate the entire industry. I want to take a minute to talk about the continued investment that we as an association are trying to drive. Shout out to Jobs Ohio for really leaning into the health and life sciences. Jobs Ohio had the foresight several years ago to understand that health and IT sectors were driving a lot of growth from an economic standpoint across the country. But we were sort of under indexed when it came to taking our share of that growth. So that really informed a pretty significant investment in the Ohio innovation districts. So a few years back, Jobs Ohio carved out about $300 million to incentivize and establish 3 innovation districts in Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. Those innovation districts are seeded with a couple anchor institutional investments. Up in Cleveland, we have Case, Cleveland State, UH, Cleveland Clinic, and Metro sort of anchoring that innovation district. NCH in Ohio State, here in Columbus, and UC and Cincinnati Children's in the Cincinnati Innovation District. So inherently, because of the investors in these, they have a health and life science theme. These innovation districts, the institutions within them committed some pretty ambitious goals of attracting a lot of new jobs in the health and life sciences to these districts, producing more talent, and creating some really impressive facilities. Now, some of you who are in these markets may see some buildings coming out of the ground associated with this innovation district investment. Here in Columbus, it's about a 270 acre site just west of campus. It now is the home of our new Pelotonia Research building, 350,000 square foot wet lab facility. Next to that is the new Energy Innovation Center. It's going to be home to the Software Innovation Center. So tremendous amount of investment going into the innovation districts that will really drive the continued growth in the market. Those innovation districts will really drive this goal of $9 billion in investment, 60,000 new jobs, and 45,000 new STEM degrees. What we're doing in terms of competing is a state for economic development opportunities associated with the life sciences is working more collaboratively. Again, driven by the innovation districts. When we compete in the life sciences and biotech for company attraction projects, we're really currently kind of competing as individual cities. So when Columbus goes after an opportunity, Cincinnati goes after an opportunity, it makes sense because companies come to be home in an actual city. But when we compete individually for those opportunities, we are not as impressive when it comes to our overall stats. However, when we combine the innovation efforts going on in each of the cities, we've become much more competitive from a site selection standpoint. And you can see how our sort of competitive set, when combined in a economic impact, talent, funding, research, and workforce data set, we start competing with some other really big, important life science markets. So we are working on a strategy to sort of go to market in the life sciences as an entire state, sort of, again, anchored by those innovation districts, calling it the Ohio Discovery Corridor, and making sure that people across the country know that coming to Ohio means that you have access to some amazing research institutions, places like NEOMED that are all in close proximity along that I-71 corridor. So going to market with that story gives us a really interesting competitive advantage when it comes to winning more economic development opportunities and ultimately creating life-saving treatments. We know that our companies are already doing well or better when it comes to attracting venture dollars. A lot of money's coming in. Our recent life science investor report highlighted the fact that just in Q1 alone, $271 million has come into the market across 26 of our life science companies, split into devices, therapeutics, and digital health. So we want to continue to tell the strong Ohio story about the great innovation occurring here, make these venture capital and private equity firms aware of these opportunities to ensure that these companies have the right resources to grow. That's why Ohio Life Sciences is making a big presence at conferences like Bio International, Meeting on the Mesa, which is a gene and cell therapy conference. We'll have a presence at AdvaMed's MedTech conference up in Toronto. So that becomes very important for us. We also want to start telling a stronger story about what we believe are our centers of excellence. These are sort of right to win categories of growth that have an impressive and unique assets and capabilities. Our gene and cell therapy industry here, the work going on at Nationwide Children's, the CRO and CDMO growth in Ohio is impressive. We've got a lot of medical device and neurotech expertise. Eye care is a really interesting opportunity. I put on here, we have 1,281 patents around eye care alone at OSU. And non-medical biomanufacturing, big opportunity, especially with AFRL's interest in sustainable biofuels. And of course, pharmaceutical manufacturing. We now have some really impressive brands in the state, including Amgen, National Resilience, Abbott, Pharmavite, American Regent. These facilities are employing hundreds of Ohioans and need to fill about 2,500 new jobs in the next couple years. So it puts a lot of pressure on our education system to ensure that we have the right talent pipeline of pharmaceutical manufacturing talent to sustain the growth that this industry has. So ton of opportunity in Ohio, more great stories about innovation and company potential coming out of our research institutions, similar to what you heard about today. And as association, we want to continue to support that and bring as much attention to it as possible. So appreciate the opportunity to provide that quick overview, and I guess we'll go into some questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eddie. Amazing stuff happening across the state. Really appreciate that summary. So there continues to be some postings in chat, mostly from the panelists. So I just want to let people know that. We can wrap up here in a couple minutes, but if anyone had any questions or wants to raise their hand, we can invite you to speak. While I'm waiting for that, I just want to reiterate that Ohio Innovation Exchange is one way that you can identify potential collaborators across the state, filter by institution, by academic discipline. You can also look at patent opportunities and the incredible resources that are available from all the institutions in terms of research centers, institutes, core labs, shared resources, and the like. I invite you to check that out and stay in touch with us. We're also on LinkedIn if you want to get to know a little bit more about what is going on at all our universities and also upcoming events. So it looks like there aren't any additional questions at this point. Monitoring the chat and the Q&A. I invite you to follow up individually with any of the speakers today. They're more than happy to talk to you about that. Let me close by just thanking our panelists and NEOMED for their cooperation and being a showcase today. Sorry for the little technical problems today with the video feeds. I really appreciate everybody being here, and we will be in touch with you when this recording is made available online in case you want to share it with any colleagues or review some information after the fact. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice meeting you guys. Thank you again.
Thank you. Greg.
Thanks, Jeff, for organizing it. This is very useful to us and I think to the entire innovation community in the state of Ohio.
Absolutely. A lot of this is not transparent to folks, and so getting an opportunity to hear directly from all of you is really special. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye, Jordan. Thanks.
Bye.